and it's only just begun. So what we're doing here all over the planet, we are seeding the new blueprint. We are seeding the new archetypes that will germinate, will sprout, and will flourish and grow over 1,000 years of human history. And they will look back at this time, because the records will be there, and they will know what we did, that we primed the field. We primed. And we're all doing this one way or another. But what I've been shown is that the information that the Nine have provided to people before, great teachers like Dolores Cannon, are now coming through me. Now, there are other teachers, but I'm going to tell you right now, I am receiving these teachings directly from the Nine. So the transmissions that I will be sharing from the Nine will directly impact the collective consciousness, and they will show the blueprints, the patterns, and the archetypes that are coming in. And that benefits you how? It benefits you individually. It will literally recalibrate with your DNA, which already holds these codes, and it will build out that blueprint for you. So you can pattern that through your lineage. You can pattern that out and waveform it through your life. And you can influence the evolution of this planet, because you are part of a critical mass of humans, and we don't need a lot. The Nine are calling this the 300 monkey effect. And it literally involves harnessing and entraining this reptilian, mammalian, evolutionary, reactive, impulsive, divisive mind, and bringing it back into its right alignment with all of the other energy and intelligence centers that the human body holds. So this will personally benefit you. Your life will shift, it will change, but you will be one of a wave of wave showers. One of the wave of way showers. I wanted to make sure I got that right. So you will literally be creating a new model for humanity. So that is pretty huge, and that information is going to take time to come through in a way that makes sense. But one of the hallmarks of what we're going to be doing together is what the Nine called a 360 effect. In other words, you don't have to cherry pick anymore where you're going to be doing your growth. This repatterning, this blueprint, this archetype is going to transform every area of your life naturally. And we always start with the power of coherence. That's the baseline. That's the foundation. And learning to do this correctly and learning to do it for yourself are really, really, really important. But beyond that, you're going to see shifts in the circle of people around you. You are going to see a shift in the country, the town, the city, the continent that you live in. Because this information is coming through the light waves. It's hitting the Earth's electromagnetic grid, and it's structuring itself around the ley lines, the song lines, the Mary and Joseph lines that crisscross all over this planet and are actually aligning and coming together. So the divine masculine, the divine feminine, all of these are ancient forces, archetypal forces that are going to come together through unity consciousness, which is why I use the word omnism. It is one transcendent vision for humanity. So what we're doing here is not just going to benefit ourselves. It is actually going to seed a new blueprint for humanity, because the time has come and this age has been declared. But essentially, how we begin to perceive time through the lens of consciousness is going to shift how we view everything in the grand scheme of things. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is we live these tiny, teeny fruit fly lives that if you put it in the great expanse of the yugas, that is a fraction, a second of time. And yet within that fraction, that tiny drop of time, so much is accomplished through a human life through consciousness, that point of now. But when you put that against the backdrop of these great big epochs, it's good for us to zoom back out and to see it from the perspective of those beings of whom we are a part, that live outside of space-time. So the reason we have these gigantic arcs of time, and I'm going to give you an example. We are currently, if you go by the classical data, we are currently living in the Kali Yuga, and we have approximately 427,000 years left to run in the Kali Yuga. Now, we're towards the end of it, so that will give you some idea of how vast a yuga is. And before that, we've had different yugas, one of which was a great golden age. And I want to remind everybody that this is already present in our collective consciousness. All of us are aware of a commodity, of a film franchise called Star Wars. Now, Star Wars shows us technology that we don't currently have, but would be great, almost futuristic. However, as George Lucas is very clear to point out, this is based on the Vedic scriptures. This is based on a far, far distant past in our human history. So we've had technological prowess far advanced than what we have today. We live in these great epochs that appear to loop. They cycle back in again. And as an alternative vision, we have the vision that was brought through Gene Roddenberry and the channelings of Phyllis Schlemmer, which became Star Trek. And I bring these two things up together for you to contemplate now. Look at the differences and look at the similarities in how life is lived in Star Wars and how life is experienced and lived in Star Trek. And you might begin to understand that there is a subtle difference, and that in fact Star Trek is a possible future for the human race. Now, the hallmarks of humans in the Star Trek future is that we enterprise and we voyage out, but we stick to the cardinal principle, which is no, we do not interfere. We don't interfere in a planet's or a species evolution. But we're out there in space, and space is pretty peaceful. We have treaties with other galactic federations and communities. And so we're able through peace to really fully begin to understand the nature of our reality. And that presents a great epoch, a great golden age for humans. And the Nine have been instrumental in bringing this information through, not just through channelers like Phyllis Schlemmer and Gene Roddenberry, but many, many other visionaries that are alive today are tapping into this vision for humanity. And the reason I bring this up is because through the advancement of technology, we have now reached a point in the Kali Yuga where there's another choice on the table. And the choice on the table is what the Nine call the cosmic age. That's the Star Trek future. That's where we've sorted a lot of stuff out on this planet. We've sorted a lot of stuff out amongst our own species, but we're able to integrate with non-human species as well. So we've really evolved, not just technologically, but we've evolved spiritually. And you cannot have one without the other. So yes, while we're pursuing all these things at the moment on Earth with CRISPR technology, where we edit DNA, what we're doing in CERN with the kaleidoscope there, and in Switzerland, what we're doing in space with some of the advancements, all of that, if it's not in balance with basic spiritual principles, it won't lead to a solid Star Trek future. So the cosmic age that we've just entered into is an opportunity for humans to grow up and stop worshipping the technology, stop worshipping the apparatus or disregarding it altogether, and to start really understanding their role and place in this cosmic paradigm.